All right, beloved, I think I finally figured it out. It is your royalty that wants you to hate your American history so bad. So here it is. You Americans were easier to control when they emancipated the things you used to own, your farm equipment, which, yes, used to be people, but it was your stock, your livestock. You were allowed to do whatever you want with it. And spiritually, according to the powers, they're yours until their power shows up and redeems them. So says the story. There's something like that going. The royalty have been spoiling the enterprise here ever since they figured out how to flood it with capitalists because, let's be honest, they figured out how to destroy monarchies. You take the three-headed dragon and start releasing portions of it on it, right? So capitalism is one where people go to a place that functions on physical exchanges of materials, resources, goods, and physical human labor, potential effort, bodies. That not just bodies, but bodies that are actually going to work. Not the gentry that are not going to work, but the livestock, right? That's actually going to do stuff with the financing that's offered to them. Before, it was not on financing the entirety of the operation like they do today. They finance everything. That's why they can kick the can down the road, because they're financing everything. They're not just financing the means for production, right? They're financing everything. The whole nut, including the building and everything. Unless they own it as propriety, it's getting kicked down the road. Refinanced preeminently, post-eminently, authorized to do that, right? You have the economy and the democracy in the capacity you do because of the campaigns that have been released on America. We weren't supposed to have it the way we are. We're supposed to have people who own things, right? They have authority over their areas, right? States, governments, right? It was never ever supposed to have an authorization and authorship that touched every market. How they did that is they stole from people who had stuff and then didn't ever offer them the financing they needed to get the operations rolling again. But they offered people above them the means to finance everything and the people below them to only be able to finance enough to kind of keep going. But funny financing and not seeing the need to pay that financing back because you could just refinance the whole business again because you financed the start of it. Every time you're refinancing all of it, not just a portion of it, right? So they were letting them do that, right? Through the international system, which came from your royalty. They broke their system on purpose. They're like, okay, so we'll just take democracy and do the game. You take democracy's three heads, communism, socialism, and capitalism, and you launch it on the new thing that has broken away from the monarchy. You dissolve it and you can reconsume it. And we're in the reconsumption process. There's your today. Later, beloved.